welcome to the Mythos Mystery Society presents Planetbound. Brought to you by Schmuckies. Schmuckies! Somebody fell asleep on the keyboard.
Oh, no. He's dead, Jim.
Oh, no. The guy who normally types all the Schmuckies slogans died on the keyboard.
Oh, man.
Oh, fuck. We'll have to get a new one. I've subtly put something in the background of my shot. I wonder if you'll see it. Actually, I don't know if you'll see it because the last two times it didn't show the video when I recorded the thing. So
wait, what?
I have my physical book sitting right here, the resale, not for resale proof. I just wanted to show it off. But yeah, the last two times I did this, because I'm sharing the screen, the video doesn't show up. I'm not sharing the screen. I'm not doing that right now. So that might show up.
Are you beefing it?
Because I have.
Oh, it only shows the. What does it show? No, it's not showing any. Oh, there we go.
I mean, you guys don't have to look at the screen. You can look at me if you want. This is for the recording.
Yeah, we should be showing the map on some of the recordings at least.
Yeah, exactly. No, the map has been shown on all the recordings.
Oh, good.
It's just
okay.
us. Our video isn't shown all the time. So that might have actually shown it. I don't know if that's going to fuck something up going in midway into it, but it should be fine. I think that's what we did the first time we played too, is I turned it on midway in and you got to see us for a little bit first. Whatever. We're quiet year in. It's year of quiet. Catch us up a little bit, Ty.
What'd you say?
Catch us up.
Oh, catch us up. The current projects are, so in things that happened in autumn was we made first contact with the Zenzos. The beasts did come and they fucked a lot of shit up. We didn't stop it then the way we hoped we would. There was a fog disease that I think we didn't cure, but is okay currently. We have a lot of new weapons now. We have the slack swords. We have like the beetle gun arm things. We have the mineral rail cannons. Anaya has been putting people in a vat of tar when she's mad at them. That's how she's been killing people. The current projects we have going on as we go into winter are renovate the triplets, which has 4 weeks left, creating tar bikes, which has 2 weeks left, and then Yoren and Heath have 3 weeks left, and they're going to investigate there was some future tech left over from the previous civilization found in the upper right corner that they are going to explore, and that's kind of where we left off with projects, and I think the story as far as I remember. Anyone have anything to add?
I have some stuff I want to clarify, retcon, because we talked about it after we played. We didn't want the tar and the geyser to be good versus evil, so what we kind of landed on was the geyser just kind of is a being of knowledge, and the tar is a being of power. And they're half indifferent to the ways of people and how they use them and stuff like that. But either can be bad and either can be good. It really just depends on how you interact with them. Both of them are kind of inquisitive about the people who have landed on the planet and just kind of want to see what happens when they work with them. But the geyser has been all about trying to study things on the planet. So it'll make duplicates of things that live on the planet to actually learn from those things and stuff. So it's this constant thing of just trying to find knowledge in everything and stuff, and it's trying to learn and everything. And the tar is just power, and it craves structure. So it needs something that it wants to latch onto to use its power. And power is good if used right and bad if used wrong. It is what it is. I have no control. I can't fix it. I can't. It is what it is, man. So that's kind of what I wanted to retcon instead of them having motives or anything. It's just they're kind of beings of simple motivations, and they kind of just do their own thing, and they like doing that with the people here.
Cool. Yeah. Dig it.
Concur. Then the Zenzos, what we talked about, the rat dudes, that kind of come out. I think we said they only come out in the daytime, so they're only a problem once every 3 days. rotations or whatever. I don't know if we said this, but we talked about it afterward as like they saw how we fight using the tar, and basically every time we fight them, they might lose the first like 5 times we fight them, but they're going to rapidly pick up on like the way we fight and what we're doing and using. And there's other tar vats and geyser things around, and they're just super quick learners. So I didn't want him to just be like a little barbarian thing, because that's what on in the heat of the moment, that's what I made him, because it's like, oh, it's a rat and it's a big guy. But it actually could be kind of cool if they become like they're like hyper intelligent, very fast to learn. They're just behind us technologically at the moment, but they won't be for long.
Yeah,
and maybe we'll even notice things going missing from like like they've been stealing stuff to just study it. They're very inquisitive, shiny things. But yeah, a big thing they saw was the way the tar suits worked when Ugmats and the little squad of guys went out to go kind of study him and got caught when they fought him. So anyway, that's all I had.
Cool. I don't think I have any retcons from last time. I think we talked about it all.
I like the idea of what are they called? Zenzos? Rats?
Zenzo.
The Zenzos are rats, yeah.
There's something about them that makes it so that this is an idea. We can take it or leave it. But here's a cool idea. Their lineage, like how they've kind of evolved on this planet, is that their bodies are able to withstand the heat of both tar and geysers. So their lineage is they've actually like grown up around geysers, drinking the water and everything like that. Which is why they've become evolved to be such quick learners and stuff.
Ooh, cool. I want to add to that. I'm going to yes and you. So not only are they hyper resistant to that, but they're actually the vermin that came in on the ancient tech we're studying that has been uplifted through, however long that stuff's been around. We could say millennia or even longer than that. So maybe they rapidly evolved because they're super quick learners or whatever.
So you're saying, wait, they it's their tech, or they? Sorry, I kind
of. They were the vermin that like basically hitched a ride on whatever spaceships were landing here long ago. So they don't need to be rats. Like they're not Earth rats. I just drew them like a rat.
I didn't think they were ever. I never thought they were Earth rats.
Good. Like I want to be very clear. They're not rats. They're just. I was panicking, and in the moment I drew a rat with a knife, but like. They're some kind of uplifted vermin from long ago that is kind of becoming a threat very quickly.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Are we ready to start?
Yes.
All right. The first card, the 3 of Winter, and I put it in our Facebook chat, I think, the prompts. So if you guys need to know. All right, the 3 of Winter. Someone comes up with an ingenious solution to a big problem, and as a result, a project finishes early. What was their idea? Or someone comes up with a plan to ensure safety and comfort during the coldest months. Start a project related to this. Okay. I think. Hold on. Let's see if this works real quick. What projects do we have? Tar bikes, triplets. And then I don't want the tech thing to go off yet, I don't think.
Tarbike's pretty cool, man.
I think I'm going to do the second one. Someone comes up with a plan to ensure safety and comfort during the coldest months. I think whereas the dome before was just like, it was sunlight but wasn't like actually like full on heating. Now we're going to start a project to make it like a fully functional. The dome is like weather controlled too. Like we can make it warm. We can make it, we can simulate any sort of weather inside of the dome instead of just having sunlight. So I'm going to do, I don't think it's going to take too long. I'm going to say 2 weeks for the updated dome, weather dome.
That's nice.
Weather dome.
And it does this by alternating pumping tar and geyser mist. It could be kind of cool, actually.
I feel like we just have tech for
maybe tar is hot, so if you heat the pipes with tar, it makes it.
I don't know. This one, no. I don't want everything to be tar.
Yeah, exactly. It was like some stuff can just be.
Yeah, sometimes it's just tech. This one's just tech.
Whoa!
You got 2 of you.
You're here twice. You got to mute yourself on one or get out of the other, man.
I got out. Okay.
Okay, that's fine. I haven't been doing the tar thing.
You're about to make tar bikes. That's you, man. That's on you.
That's on you.
All right, Project
For
Click.
a long
Clocks
time, I
tick
want to be
down.
like, oh, maybe I can play with the big boys, except for the tar suit thing. That's the only thing I
The timer.
contribute.
Okay. The project clocks are down, except that one. And then I can either discover something new, hold a discussion, start a project. Kind of a project. I don't know if I want another one.
Planetbound Heath is with the other guys, right?
He aligned himself with the Wings of Revolution.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'm
he's
gonna put them
independent.
down here
Wait,
because he was just up by Fargo, hanging out with Fargo's grave.
I am going to say this afterward. I think what we discover during the it's during the no, actually no, I think one of the Phantom Limbs comes back because remember there like three of them all went different ways. One of them comes back and has two eggs it believes to be beast eggs.
Put those back where you found them. So help me.
If you want to draw one of them back, or do we? Well, you can give that little one over there beast eggs, Dave. But yeah, that was the discovery.
Beast eggs.
Beast eggs. And that is it for my turn.
Whose turn is it now?
It is Dave's.
Me.
Baby.
Go ahead and
Ace.
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 Okay, I'll worry about this later. Oh, I messed everything up. There you go. Okay. Now is the time to conserve energy and resources. A project fails but gain an abundance, or now is the time for hurried labor and final efforts. A project finishes early but gain a scarcity. I want to say a project fails but we gain an abundance. We try to destroy, like, renovate the triplets.
Mm-hmm.
And in the process, we're like attacked by monsters and stuff that are trying to defend their homes because I had specified before each one of those is its own ecosystem. And like, it turns out, like, we were able to renovate one of them, which is how we can get some abundance from it. But the other two have such a high, like, there's so many weird things living on those that we just weren't able to break through with them, especially with only one phantom mech. So the abundance that we get, I want to say, let's see. I want to say just like building materials because
we already have an abundance of materials, and we have since the very beginning of this game.
Make it something weird, an abundance of like weird giant grubs.
Bees.
No, we have bugs too.
Oh, you know what? We'll say it's these smaller parasitic things that lived in the trees there of the one place that we were able to renovate. And these things, when you attach them to your arms or whatever, allow you to kind of do like some elemental, you could call it magic, but really it's like a biological reaction that your body gives off. It's the parasite magic thing that you came up with, Tom. I really wanted to add that in.
That's different than how. That's actually really cool.
Yeah, I
They
like
should
that
be really
it's like
small,
a thing.
work as a herd.
What?
That'd be cool if they were really small, but they worked as a herd, so they can travel onto your arm, and then like
No, I like the idea of just like one that's just kind of like grossly embedded into your arm or whatever, or in your fingertips or something, and it shoots it out as a biological reaction. So like, it's not necessarily magic; it's like actually generating it. So like when you run out of mana, the thing just needs to like literally biologically create more of the substance that does the thing.
It's carbon, which is in your blood.
Yeah, but yeah, I'll renovate one of these so it like failed, but we got an abundance of elemental grubs, parasitic grubs.
So now we have two parasitic. We have the Krugs and we have these things.
Yeah, I mean, there's
maybe
they're
a kind of Krug so that we can combine.
Yeah, maybe a different kind.
There's more than one parasite on Earth.
No, yeah, but it could be like a juvenile version of Krugs that are more volatile because, like a small snake, it doesn't know how much venom it has, so you can use it like a weapon. whereas the Krugs that are older are more like armor.
Or it's
If they're
an
even that, did we
arboreal
land
Krug.
on-
Call it an arboreal Krug.
I like
means
that. Yeah.
There you
It's a
go.
different
Yeah.
species of Krug, so
Yeah,
I
that's
like
why they're
that. That's
smaller.
cool.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a female Krug.
No,
And the
they're
males are all
tiny.
gross and big
Yeah.
and slimy.
There we go. I've renovated the triplets. Now it's
I just
just
want
the
somebody
twins.
to draw somebody wearing a phantom on their head with a bunch of Krug, arboreal Krugs on their arm, and then like Krug armor.
I like to imagine you, like you said, you only wear one arboreal Krug, and it's small, so it's embedded in the wrist. I don't want our people to be fucking like nature punk horror.
I mean, we are hurtling towards that already, but that's okay.
Yeah, we've been there.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, not too much. I don't know. There's just a lot of shit going on.
Okay, so that was the card you do. Tom, the tar bikes go off. What is it? What happens?
We have tar bikes now.
What are they like?
That's about it. I mean, like we can travel farther distances, so we can send people on longer, like maybe Ugmat's and his little group of people, like and maybe other little groups like theirs, kind of go out to scout for various things, whether it be new places to salvage things from or to find treasure and stuff. But yeah, it gives them like an opportunity to go much farther distances.
Yeah.
And maybe should we? I'm wondering because the fog would still be like an issue, even on a bike. But maybe like the fog doesn't like tar, which would make sense if we're saying it's like a geyser thing,
Or it
like,
runs on
geyser shit.
It wouldn't be a tar bike if it ran on fog.
No, it would like repel fog away from it, or
oh,
like
yeah,
I like that. I might be thinking too
kind
hard.
of everywhere.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they could just. Maybe that's the next project. We got to find a way to like enhance their eyesight so they can see through fog, or they can see like infrared or something like that.
Okay, that was that project. Now, Dave, you can take an action, discover something new, hold a discussion, start the project.
I do want to start a project for making the fog more bearable. Whatever that means. So it's basically like a fog negation project.
Okay.
Starting to think it's going to become Krugs in the eyes.
Eye Krugs.
But I'm thinking even just like a visor that can cut through fog or something like that.
So that's kind of the same thing I was saying, like where you can see through it somehow.
Yeah, exactly. I want that to be the project that we start. Is
cool.
Like now we have ways to kind of scout, but the fog still
fog vision.
Hard. Yeah.
Okay. How many weeks?
This one will only take 2 weeks, I think.
Okay. All right, Tom.
Yeah. Did we pull 4?
We did not pull a 4.
Okay. All the animals and young children are crying and won't stop.
Oh my god.
Hold a discussion about this in addition to your regular action for this week, or a great atrocity is revealed. What is it and who uncovers it? Ooh.
The atrocity is that all the kids and animals won't stop crying.
This is an interesting one.
I changed the name of the triplets to the twins now that we've taken over one. But that revisionist history from Anaya.
Children and animals are. Okay, maybe. All the animals and children are freaking out, not necessarily like weeping, but they're definitely in like a scared state at all time, claiming they keep seeing something flying around in the fog, kind of high above, and none of the older people have seen it, but the young people can.
Oh, good. The abovers.
The abovers. As above her, so below her.
Yeah, they're like they only see it during the night cycles.
Mm-hmm.
And it's scaring them. It's like a boogeyman type thing. Well, in their view, it's a very real threat.
Yeah, but it's real.
Okay.
I kind of just draw a shape. I don't have.
Now we have to have a discussion about this. So, Tom, you would start.
It's just their imaginations. They got good ones, good imaginations. Them kids.
This is in the main kind of civilization, right? This is the main.
Yeah, this is above. Like they're seeing it above the dome and like other
Yeah.
things.
Well, I think that we have an issue here of we have some enemies that can get airborne and see stuff. We don't have any aerial capabilities here on whatever this town's going to be called, but maybe it's something to think about.
Name for the town? Yeah, that is a pretty good
No,
suggestion.
no, getting
No,
skyward.
I'm just kidding. This is why we need we need a way to see through the fog.
That's it. Discussion had. Okay. Project dice go down. The weather dome is completed. I am going to say it works as kind of described. We now have the ability to kind of okay. It does work as described. We can kind of add heat and cold and kind of adjust it. But I'm going to say Anaya and the Grasping Vines kind of have control of it. So like it is entirely up to their whim of what the weather is like that day, and that is not a popular thing with everyone.
They control the weather. It's the
Yes.
fucking evilest thing you can do.
Somebody's gotta though.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna play devil's advocate to Naya. Just try to make her not, like.
I didn't say she's doing it. She's not doing anything bad with it currently. I'm just saying they are currently in control of it.
She is in charge, yeah.
Yes.
And that sometimes authority just scares these liberal fog livers.
Okay, and then here's what I want to do for this. So Yorn and Heath come back from their adventure.
Ooh.
I am going to say what I want is I think what we did last game, I don't remember what it was for exactly. I think we should do that again, where every one of us gets to add one piece of like a thing of future tech they found, like an item. Or if you don't have one, you don't have to.
I want to. I just got to think of one.
Yeah.
I feel like we got a lot of like tech and items though floating around.
Well, we have a lot of weapons, so maybe we don't necessarily want to go weapon, but I think it could be anything. Anything future tech, I'd say, is on the board. It doesn't have to be an item necessarily, but anything future tech related.
A hoverboard would be pretty sick.
Yeah, I like a hoverboard. I think that's simple but cool. Yeah,
something the kids can get excited about. Maybe we could reverse engineer it.
Hoverboard. Okay.
I'm gonna say like a water refresher. It can pull fog from the environment and turn it into water. So you bring it with you when you scout.
Turn fog to water. I think I'll give Dave the power to veto this if you don't like it, but I think one of the things they find that I would like is they find a device that, after playing with it a little bit, they find a way where you can switch consciousness with your Planetborn.
Ooh.
You can switch if you have a Planetborn, you can swap your consciousness for a while with it.
Jesus, that's interesting. That
is pretty cool.
I'm not sure about that. It'd be kind of cool. I kind of want the Planetborns to just be their own thing, though. I don't think it's permanent, but I think it's like whatever. One civilization that came before found a way to do it temporarily, and I think they are their own thing still, but they are linked. Is it more some like way. Sight-jacking?
No, it's swapping. So the Planetborn now has control of the real person's body, and the real person has control of the Planetborn.
I'm gonna say, what does that accomplish? Because they look and talk exactly the same.
I don't know. Could be. It could be used in different ways.
Places.
Yeah, different places. If like, let's say you send your Planetborn out to like maybe a previous civilization found a way to like make force the planet to do it, could have sent their Planetborns out and used them more like
it'd be useful bodies for tar bikers, like or whatever we want to call scouts, I guess. To like if they leave a Planetborn behind and they need to report back something they found, they can quickly. It's like a telephone system.
It feels weird. It feels like you're removing the autonomy of the Planetborns and focusing on like
I
the
didn't.
normal.
I didn't say the normal people had the Planetborns can use it too. I didn't say it was one way.
Yeah,
Yeah, it could be
it's
also a
weird.
problem if your Planetborn uses it.
Yeah,
It is an item too. It's not like it's just automatically everybody can now.
Yeah, I think it's just
yeah, true. Yeah, that's
it's
fine. I'm sure if there's a use for it and like you've worked it out with the Planetborn guy. The thing is, that's the other thing I want to work on is that I don't want Planetborns to have the same name as the person they look like. They just look like another person. Like it's like if you saw some dude that kind of looked like Leonardo DiCaprio, but his name is like Jeff or something. Like that's pretty much what I got from it. The geyser just makes duplicates, but it's not actually making a duplicate. It's just like I made it because it looks like this guy, and he'll be your friend, right? Because you like this guy, right? Like that's pretty much what it is. But it has like its own consciousness and everything like that. So that's why I'm like, we should probably rename Planetborn Heath because he's not just Heath.
He's a victim of being the first one.
Yeah, I think that's fine for him. But like, let's put it this way: I kind of wanted when we get to the actual campaign, I wanted to play as a Planetborn, and also I think we're going to call them Geyserborns now. Just so that we don't confuse it with Planetbound, the campaign. But I wanted to play as a Geyserborn guy and stuff like that, and he was just going to look like somebody from the camp, but like, so there would be like a weird drama between the guy I kind of look like and myself and stuff.
Well, I get the whole. I like the autonomy, and I think they're their own thing. I think that's all cool. But now the question is: are they a copy, or are they someone that looks kind of like you?
Because someone that looks kind of like a guy.
I was always in the impression it was like you're basically making a clone that has its own consciousness.
Because otherwise, it's just another. It's not anything then. Like if it's just another, it's a duplicate of somebody that looks a little different.
I think it has to be. I think it should be a duplicate. I think it has its conscious and everything, but I think it should be look exactly like. Because that also creates.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean. They look exactly like the person that like. It looks exactly like the person that they like cloned, I guess you can say. But yeah, they are still their own person and stuff like that.
I think that's all fine. I like that, but I think that's one of the reasons I wanted this device is there are going to be, I'm sure, some issues or things that come up of this person looks exactly like this person, even if they are two different people. Mm-hmm. They will, and I think they have some link. That's why, like I said, the device isn't used to control them. It's just a device that could cause something interesting to happen later on.
Yeah. No, I'm cool with that. Yeah.
Because otherwise they're twins.
Well, that's kind of what it is. I don't have a problem. The planet making something to study people by basically throwing like an inside agent into that group of people. It's literally the Steve Buscemi like, how you doing, my fellow youths thing, but like it's just like the guys are trying to make like a life form that would like basically be able to infiltrate other life forms to learn from them and report it back to the geyser was the whole point of them. That's why they just look exactly like somebody, because they're just like, this is what those things look like, so I'll just make that and stuff like that.
No, that's fine. I just there should be some other, they should have like there are things that like can affect that type of person.
Well, I also like the idea that a different civilization made this because at some point they had a problem with Geyserborns.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's being exploited in a way that isn't cool to the Planetborns. Yeah, probably, or whatever you want to call it.
Let's just call them Planetborns, and we'll find out a different name for the campaign eventually.
Oh yeah, I feel like we'll rename everything.
Yeah. Okay. Then now, Tom, it is your turn for an action, because those were the two things that went off this week.
Well, we're already trying to see through fog.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to. What else? I'm sorry. What are my options again? I always got.
You can either hold a discussion, discover something, or start a project.
We've been doing a lot of discover some things. I just realized.
I've done it.
Yeah, we almost have like an abundance of like too much shit going on.
Yeah.
We're hitting capacity on this.
Creating more conflict would be good. We don't have a ton of conflict. I mean, we have some conflict, but not.
Yeah. I just I don't want to be the one that pulled that trigger because I did it wrong.
I'm scared. That was a big trigger. You unloaded the machine gun. You didn't pull a trigger.
Yeah. Let's see. You see this thing I drew?
Where'd you draw
That's the thing the kids are
crazy
saying.
Thing that the kids are scared of?
Yeah, that the kids are all scared of. Maybe we noticed some of the kids are started walking off
Oh no.
into like the fog,
Okay.
like they're being this thing's like summoning them or
Okay.
something. Maybe we can call this a discussion because there's no project involved.
That could be discovery too. I mean, we could
Oh, okay,
find
yeah,
that
we could
that's
say that
happening.
discovery is that like the kids have stopped freaking out. A lot of them stopped talking entirely, and some of them have started even walking off into the fog at night.
Okay, I like that.
This
All right.
thing's scary.
Okay, 8. Winter is harsh and desperation gives rise to fear-mongering. Choose one. Spend the week calming the masses and dispelling their violent sentiments. The week ends immediately. Or declare war on someone or something. This counts as
Okay.
starting a project.
The
Okay.
first one works with the kids all getting weird. Or we could finally make a war out of these. I do remember we chased some of the Zenzos like that survived that first fight did go down into where the Wings of Revolution live.
We never figured out what happened with that.
Oh, they could have befriended them. They could
have. Yeah, I don't think we didn't specify.
Yeah. Just saying it could be if you want to give them like an army that could go up against a tarmac, then that.
I think I do like the war is it's going to be kind of a vague war. It's going to be a 4-week project. The war on the abovers.
This thing?
Yep. They have but it's kind of like I think it's an Anaya power move of like, all right, we're going to save our kids. We're going to kill like they have no idea what this thing is. No one has really seen it except for kids. So it's a very vague like trying to get everyone together. Yes, exactly.
Toss you an idea before you settle on that, because we've had the people in the pit like constantly being sabotagers, and like I feel like Anaya would definitely like go to war with them to try and eradicate or just make them leave from being so close.
Ooh,
so it's
yeah.
Like we do have an opportunity to actually start a war between like Anaya and like the pit people and stuff like that.
My only
where it wouldn't kill them all, but it would probably make them leave and make them move somewhere that's very different. So then you have like a more distance between the two.
She could. These could both work. She could grandstand that we're going to save our kids, and she blames the Wings of Revolution.
Yeah, I like that.
Using this,
there's plenty of evidence for that too. They ride bats.
Yep. Yeah. Okay.
Exactly. Yeah. She could say the thing they're seeing is the bats and all that that they fly on. Yeah. So she's using this as a scapegoat, but this is still a very real problem.
Yeah. Okay.
What I like about this too is it's pushing the pit people further into the planet.
Yeah.
Like not depth wise. Like they have to go live with nature more, which makes them more nature punk.
So I like that war. So it is a war on the Wings of Revolution, but she's blaming them for the above her situation, and that's going to be
blaming them for a lot because they also sabotage some shit and stuff. She's basically blaming them for all of their problems at this point.
I'm going to give this thing a name because I don't like how you bastardized this above or below her thing without my consent.
That's going to be a 4-week project, and now Dave, the fog bearable project goes off.
What did I say? Oh, the frog. Okay, the frog. It's a frog. It's a fucking frog, man.
Oh, that'd be great.
It's just a cool visor that you can wear to it uses LiDAR scanners to like kind of see through the fog, but then it generates them like as much as it can. So it's just like a cool tech glasses that kind of almost eradicates the fog, but like there's still like a digitalness until you get confirmation of it.
Yeah.
So it just makes going in the fog like a breeze essentially, and it uses like maybe a different type of like shade lens on it that just kind of like makes the fog almost invisible for a further distance and stuff. So it's like using tinted glasses or something.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I missed that. Give me the skinny of it. I was looking up stupid names.
Glasses. Cool glasses. Cool fog glasses.
More like visors.
Could they be contact?
I like it being more like a whole face thing, but
yeah, that could be cool. I was actually kind of hoping they'd have some kind of like very subtle tech that they can like activate in their eyeball
Maybe eventually it'll get there. Maybe this is the
Yeah,
iteration one.
maybe that's like the future version of it or something.
And then for my project, I'm going to start a project that is going to go off, I think, in 4 weeks too. I think it's that the wings of revolution are going to try to befriend the Zenzos that are down there. I think they're going to try to have like peace talks and like come to terms with them.
Oh, you know what? Who could do that? Planetborn Heath.
Yeah, I think you can help.
Yeah, because Planetborns can kind of talk with stuff that is interacted with the geyser in geyser talk.
So I think that is going to be a 4-week project. So they're going to go off at the same time.
I also enjoy the idea, and Tom, you can feel free to negate this with your boogeyman thing, that whatever that thing is Tarborn. So, like, what I like about Tarborn stuff is that, like, when it latches up, because remember, it just craves structure, and, like, if you don't know how to use power, it can become bad. So it's like this thing just kind of latched onto a pit bat, and then, like, the pit bat's now all fucked up because of it, or like, it created something that it thought could fly. Because it just like made structure out of nothing and stuff like that.
No, see, I'm gonna axe this because you guys axed my whole like, oh, the heat. Yeah, I just want this to be a different thing. I don't want to.
Yeah, that's fine. No, I'm cool with that too.
Okay.
You just drew it black, which made me think that.
Of course. Yeah, you would. That's.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, it's the same to
you. Dave, 7.
7. Let me see.
I'm calling this thing the Delphivian.
Okay.
What is winter like in this area?
And also too, I want to make the weather something that only comes out in the winter. By the way.
Oh yeah, cool. I like that.
I like the idea. So I basically have to describe what winter is like and how we react to it. Well, we don't really react to it because we have a fucking dome. The idea I like about winter though is that there's something weird about this planet, that the fog is just like evaporated water kind of stuff, or water just kind of floating in the air in a weird way. So I like the idea that this planet has snowflakes, but they just float. Like they don't ever fall to the ground and you can walk into them. So it's like, it makes the fog even worse, but thankfully we have those like cool geysers that, or visors that kind of help see through them. They still work despite that. But yeah, it's just like cool. When it snows, snowflakes just kind of hang in the air. Yeah,
cool.
Just kind of like sit like that.
It like crystallizes parts of the fog, and so they just kind of drift a little in place, though.
And then as far as community goes, so people in the dome are doing their dome thing. They've lived like this on other planets. Like it's, nothing new there. But let's talk about like the people who live in not the dome. So like pit people and any of the like kind of Planetborns and stuff like that. I want to say there's like they tend to retreat more to the underground during this time, but there is stuff that has like you find a lot more pilgrimages during this time where like humanoid people like the Zenzos and Planetborns and like and I guess pit people too will take this time to find more places because there's not as much on the surface trying to kill them. So they'll like pack up all their hiking gear and go on like winter hikes and stuff like that to find even more places to settle and everything, or find resources while like the getting's good and nothing will really hurt them too terribly much. There's still obviously things that crawl around, like you're saying the Delivian or whatever is
Delphivian.
Yeah, it only comes at in winter and stuff. So there is still dangers, of course. They're just different dangers that are a little bit easier to deal with. Like for stuff like that.
Cool.
Yeah, we discover a big snake that eats the Delivian. Just kidding. You didn't get. I got you.
I like to think the Delphivian uses this kind of like lure thing to lure prey out of any kind of winter hold it's made. So it doesn't have to like find it too much. It could just like pull it out with its own will or whatever. However it's doing it, I don't know.
With its arboreal krugs.
We'll find out at some point. Okay, projects.
You need a krug hole for sure.
I guess the only projects are these two. So I guess the war on the wings and the wings talking to the Zenzos both go down to 3. And Dave, your action for this turn.
Let's see. I kind of want to discover something.
The Delphivian.
There it is.
This is what the whole game's going to be about for me.
This is my
The
thing.
whole leading up to this. Really quick, while you do that, I'm just going to step away and just make sure the kids are totally down. So
that's fine. Yeah,
going
just
to do one
mute
quick
yourself
check. I'll be right.
just in case. Let's see. Let's see. I want to say it's discovered that in the war, the geyser is making geyser-born people for both sides of the war.
Okay.
Almost as if it just wants to see how this is going to shake out, and it just kind of like it's learning. It's pretty much learning what war is. So it's like, oh yeah, let's let's give you a couple and stuff like that. So that's become an interesting wrinkle in the war, is that more geyser-born are being made, and not like a crazy amount, but just like you can noticeably tell there's more showing up.
Okay. Well, it is Tom's turn next, so we will wait for him. I should draw. Can I draw on my phone? Let's see if I can get on Roll20 and draw at least the.
I drew a couple of the things you mentioned. Like I drew a sun inside of the dome to signify that we have weather now.
Yeah, that's good.
I'm back.
It is your turn.
It's your turn.
Oh, okay.
The thing you missed is that the geyser is making more geyser-born people for both sides of the war because it's learning what war is.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Do we do 9?
I don't think so. We did not do 9.
Okay. 9. Someone goes missing. They're alone in the winter elements. Choose one. The community organizes a constant search parties, and eventually the person is found. Project dice are not reduced this week, and no one ever hears from that person again. Ooh, lots of people have been going missing because of the Vivian. Who could it be though? Maybe Yoren? You think he goes missing?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's fine.
Yeah, let's do this. It's cooler than that because my options. So Yoren goes, or no, Heath goes missing because he's one of the kids, right? And so Yoren and joins up with like a group, Ugmats and his group, and they go out searching for him. Do they have to find him?
You know what's kind of cool about that? A little wrinkle you can toss into it. So Heath has a Planetborn, and we just made up tech that you can swap consciousness with Planetborns. But Planetborn Heath is on the side of the Wings of Revolution.
Yeah,
so he's not. Yeah, it's almost like, and Yorn still lives in the colony.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, maybe they try to go to the Wings for help. This is like not sanctioned by Anaya at all.
Yeah, they have to sneak out of the colony and ask the Wings for help.
Yeah, they were told not to. They need them for the war or whatever, but they snuck away. I'm playing as this guy, by the way. Whoever he is. Cool. Okay. Do I need to resolve that or anything? I mean, I guess.
No. Well, you're choosing the first one then.
Yeah, that because I don't want it to be no one hears from him ever again.
So then, yeah, he is found. You don't. I mean, yeah, you probably have to resolve how he's found.
Okay. Well, I mean, they go in there, and I don't know. This feels like its own adventure. Can we just leave it at that? I mean, it's up to us, right?
Yeah. No. Yeah, that's fine. I don't think we have to scrap it. Just say Heath will eventually be found.
Hopefully. Yeah.
No,
yeah. We're not.
He will be. Just we don't know when.
Sure. And then maybe that leads to an epic. Yeah, that's like the whole. There's the campaign right there. Delphivian is the last thing that. Yeah.
So no projects, and then your action this turn. Discover.
Yeah, no projects. Sorry, one more time. What are mine?
Discover something new. Hold a discussion. Start a project.
Hold a discussion. We can hold it. I don't like doing that. I'm not in like. I'm not in like game mode. It's hard to just be like random person making a statement.
I think those are. It doesn't have to be a voice or anything. I think it's fine to just discuss what's at hand. Oh, my nose.
Maybe the discovery we make is that kids that belong to the Wings of Revolution have also been falling victim to this thing.
Okay.
During winter. It's like a big problem in the winter.
Okay.
For everybody.
Big problem for everybody. Okay.
And let's just retcon in that Heath has that device because he's like a big tech kid. Well, he's the one that found it, right?
Yeah.
Or no, yeah, right.
Him and Yorn, yeah.
Yeah, him and Yorn found it, so maybe he like was tinkering with it because he has a planet.
Do they both need it? I
Hard
thought
to
I was
say.
under
I
the
don't think
impression
No,
so.
it's
one
one.
of them does.
Yeah, one
Yeah,
of them
I would
has
say
it.
they
So they
don't.
just
Yeah.
I'm assuming just
Yeah.
Yoren brought it with him to give to Planetborn Heath to do it.
No,
Yeah,
I think other way around. I think Heath has it, and he's remoting into Planetborn version of himself, but it's confusing and weird. So like it's a riddle thing, like where we're hearing like we're trying to locate him based off of just whatever weird thing Planetborn is reacting to being controlled by something.
Okay.
That's an idea.
Well,
Or it
we'll
could be
leave it a
the other
little
way
bit.
around.
We'll leave it. I like
I
that.
feel like the other way around's easier.
The other way around is easier, but we don't do easy.
We're also not resolving this right now. I mean, we decided
No,
we're not
yeah.
going to. So
Either way,
leave it.
one of them has it, the other
Yes.
one doesn't. A cool story could happen.
Yes.
Either way, right?
Okay, 5. Winter elements destroy a food source. If it was your only food source, add a scarcity. Winter elements leave everyone cold, tired, and miserable. Project dice are not reduced this week.
I was like bad either way.
No, I like the second one. So I'm gonna say that like the wings are going like further underground, but they are still like affected by the winter, and like because the colony is so used to being in this nice dome, every time they have to go outside to like, oh, let's fight, let's start the war. It's like so shitty outside. They just don't. They're like no, and they go out for a little bit and then immediately come back, and like Anaya's pissed, and then I think that maybe that motivates her to not make it so comfy inside the dome.
Ooh, yeah, she could change the weather.
Yep, and so project dice are not reduced this week.
She makes it ice cold. She's the ice queen, and then we start calling her the ice queen.
The ice
We
queen.
start calling her Frozen 2.
Oh, well, I went in a different direction.
No project dice reduced, and my action this turn. I think.
Yeah.
I think I'll start a project for the Bring Heath Home.
Hashtag bring Heath home.
Bring Heath Home. And I think it'll take a little while because I don't know if it's going to go up before the campaign ends. So I think that's fine.
That's where the campaign starts.
Yeah,
It could very well.
Let's find out. All right, Dave,
Okay.
you got a 2.
Ooh. I was looking up Hubba Bubbas because this is fucking good. These are fucking good. They're Hubba Bubba Skittles. They're basically Skittles that you never have to swallow.
Oh.
2. A headstrong community member takes charge of the community's work efforts. A project fails and then a different project finishes early. Or a headstrong community member tries to take control of the community. How are they prevented from doing this? Due to the conflict, project dice are not reduced this week. Ooh. I can end the war right here.
Could, but it won't. Dun dun dun.
Well, I think that might also be a little weird because it's the community. So we're technically 2 different communities.
Yeah.
So it'd be weird to do that. I think if anything, it'd be like you could make the Heath and the Wings project. That would be one community if you wanted to do it the first option. But I think
one of the projects is the war.
But the war on the Wings is a project of our colony. The other ones are the other 2 projects are kind of projects of the Wings.
Yeah, I can end the war though. I can bring them home, guys.
I too thought I could end the war. Back when I ruined last time we played this game.
Community member tries to take control of the community. Are they prevented from doing this?
Right, that's what I'm saying. It doesn't sound like it's successful no matter what you do.
I like the idea that somebody inside the I feel like we've done this enough though.
Which one? We're gonna say.
I was gonna say somebody tries to assassinate Honora, but it doesn't work. Oh no, okay. I like this more.
Okay.
So Anaya tries to basically like a contingent of people got together, some new like guy that we haven't really made up yet, tries to essentially forcefully stop Anaya because they don't like that they went to war with the people they came to this planet with, and like they don't like how Anaya is like basically the last straw was like turning off the weather inside and like forcing them to go to war. Like it just feels like they're feeling helpless, and they're just like, if we have to die, then I'm killing a tyrant instead of my friends. So it's like they attempt to go stop Anaya, but of course Anaya is like way too well backed for that and stuff. So what ends up happening is Anaya like is about to like make an example of this guy. Like they've like captured the contingency of people that are going to do it. Anaya is about to make an example of this guy, but then the tar, like she's going to kick him into the tar pit, like as you do.
She wants to do.
But the tar like kind of ends up like like wrapping itself around this guy, and it like it's almost like it wants to see what it can do, and it like wants to break free from just Anaya being the one in control of it. So it's like power craving freedom almost. So instead of just like drowning this guy, what ends up happening is he becomes this tarborn thing, which is like he kind of becomes like this giant humanoid monster thing, and ends up breaking free and running out of the enclosure and saving himself essentially. So there's just like this kind of like monster that broke free from there. And it used to be a person, but like now it's like this immense power thing. But it's kind of the first time they've seen that, like it's the first time we've seen a legit Tarborn. So it makes us question some of the other things that we've seen and if they're Tarborn or not. And like, but also Anaya probably starts getting ideas about like, oh, maybe I can make the army better this way and stuff like that. But yeah, that's what's happening.
Okay.
Just nothing advances, I guess, because of that.
And now your action.
My action. Anaya's going to start an investigation into figuring out if she can manufacture Tarborns.
Okay. How long?
We'll say 5 weeks. Gonna be a lot of failure in there.
Yep.
I still think she can come around. She's just trying to protect us. I got a king. Did we get a king?
Nope.
Okay. Well,
read it.
The frost shepherds arrive. What the fuck are those?
What?
And the game is over.
So I think the way that this happens for this game. So this is just obviously the end of the game and set up what's next.
I don't think there should be frost shepherds.
No, I mean it's no, it's not like actual. It's just kind of like whatever you're interpreting it to be. So what I'm going to say is not quite. I'm going to say it's a. I'm going to say 3. What'd you say?
The Delphian.
It eats people. No, I'm going to say close to what you said. It's not a spaceship, but it's 3 like pods that land like very close to the colony. And we see kind of like a figure step out, and one of them is holding the beacon that Dave's guy sent in the very like first part of the year. He sent a beacon. What's his name? I don't remember the guys
Fargo?
are. Yeah, Fargo sent out a beacon to try to like get people here. So someone responded to it, but it's pods that do not look like any we recognize.
Interesting. I like that.
And that is our Quiet Year game. Okay, now I do want to talk about systems real quick for the actual game.
We can also
that guy that tried to usurp the guy that tried to usurp Anaya is named Contessimo.
Oh, I like that.
Contessimo.
And now he's a Tarborn, so he's some sort of horrifying monster that roams the wastes.
Okay. Systems for this game. There are going to be a couple with pros and cons for all. The first one that I do not want to do, but I do want to mention is Cypher, because that was what we were going to do last time. Yeah. I don't want to do Cypher. I do like the character customization, but it's just too much math. I watched how it's played, and it's going to be too much for us.
Yeah, I want to do something simple. So
Yeah.
something simple and cinematic. You know us.
Yes, yes. So the ones I have for that are one would be Scum and Villainy, which we've done before. Obviously, we like it. It's very fast, not a lot of math. The downsides to that are there isn't as much freedom because it's playbooks and stuff. So like we have created a lot of really unique stuff here, whereas it might be tough to get the characters and interesting stuff we want fitting into that mold. Number one. Number two, when you get Forged in the Dark games, I really like them, but they are a lot more structured because it's like, oh, this is the mission. Now this is the downtime, and it doesn't flow as well as, in my mind, as some other games. It starts to feel a little procedural. But we do like, there are things we like about that system. So that is one. Two would be Fate. Fate is something we haven't done yet.
Oh yeah,
the event
we almost did it.
We almost. I actually
we
have
made characters and everything.
Yeah. I have actually a lot written for a different Fate game, but so Fate is cool because it's extremely customizable. Like you don't really pick anything, you make everything up. So like your character is like whatever you name it. Instead of ability, I can't remember what they're called exactly. You basically three things that are just like things about your character. Like it could be like you don't necessarily want it to be all good things, like is the perfect duelist. It could be something as vague as like has like the one they use in the example is like has a cursed sword. So you can use that like, oh, I'm going to attack with my cursed sword, but I can also use it against you. So it's things you want to kind of go both ways.
Has a cursed sword. Has a cursed sword.
I'd be on the curse.
It could be an item. And it's not something you have to use every single time. It could also be like, oh, my character is extremely trusting of people, which could be beneficial when you're talking to people, but it could be used against you too. So you're basically giving yourself like just three different like kind of things about your character that you can use. You also get things called stunts that are a little bit more specific. Like I can't remember what they are off the top of my head. It might be like I can't remember what they are, but like basically a very specific ability your character can do in a situation that makes it, that is cool to do.
Sounds like you want to do this one.
No. Actually, I have a few. The downside of this one, though, is that
it sucks and it stinks and it's bad.
Is that I hate it. No. The downside is that
you have to play this in your bare button balls.
You gotta be naked on cam for this one.
It has a genital reader. And it's
the downsides are because it's so vague. There isn't a high focus on like level ups. I think there is a way to level up. There are skills, and I think you can get like, oh, I get a +1 in this stat that I didn't have before, and I think there is a way to like change out and like, oh, I get one new ability, but it's not something like Powered by the Apocalypse or Forged in the Dark where it's like, oh, I'm going to choose this ability next, where you have a clear sense of progression. So that you kind of lose a little bit of that. The other kind of downside of this is that you will have to buy dice because it's not regular dice.
Because it uses specific ones. I think I actually have some, but I don't mind buying more. I actually still kind of lean towards that because the non-leveling up thing is something I've accidentally not done in any of our campaigns anyway.
I think you did it in Root a little bit. You had some stuff in Root, didn't you?
I did it. Oh, no. I mean, like, not when you run it. When I run it. Every game I've run, I've accidentally not done level ups. So it's just like, I actually don't mind not leveling up because we play this so casually and everything. So it's just like, to me, it's less work on my end of having to do something between games or something.
Yeah.
That's not a negative to me. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
But go ahead and pitch the other ones.
The other two are Starforge. So Starforge is kind of similar to Fate, where I mean, like in the bonus, where it's very, you kind of come up with your own stuff. There is like items you can get. It doesn't have so much of the ability thing, but you kind of make your own character. You give them a specific goal. Dice-wise, Dave and I have used the system before. It is GM, or it can be GM-less. It's the same system you and I used when we did Ghostlight.
Oh, really?
So it's like everyone is like, so if I'm trying to do something, like Tom would roll, let's say I'm trying to attack something, I would roll my dice to attack. Tom would roll to see how well whatever is going, I'm doing against is rolling for, or how high the challenge is. So it keeps, two players are always engaged in rolling dice and we can switch it. So that's a GM-less game, so that would be an option there.
That'd be pretty cool.
The other downside, the downside of that one is kind of the same thing where I don't know how the growth is. I don't think there's a ton of character growth or how the system facilitates that. But if you don't care, that's
Yeah, that
fine.
was the thing. Like, the Ghostlight game was really, really cool, but we only played a one shot of it. So
Yes,
it's just
yes,
like, and I don't really see like I'd play that again, but I'd make new characters and a new story. So it's just like, you're right. I don't know about the
yeah.
longevity of it.
Of
It's a really
Starforge.
cool system, but just like for a oneer. So,
Yeah. And the last one is the most different, I think. This is one that could be really cool. It is the most different.
Og.
Uh,
What?
um, Legacy. So the reason this one's a little bit more odd is it isn't strictly a sci-fi game like the others. It is technically written as more of a post-apocalypse game. However, it is set in a place which ours obviously is. So it would tie, not necessarily we would never leave world or anything. We could still leave world and we could still make it sci-fi, but this system would tie us a little bit more to this planet than some of the other ones would, whereas the other ones are a little bit more open to the
I feel like we
leaving
want to
this.
stay on the planet.
Oh yeah, I
anyway.
figured we'd stay on the planet. It's sci-fi
Okay.
if you stay on a planet. That's not it's not a requirement.
No. I'm saying the system itself isn't strictly a sci-fi setting. It does have sci-fi elements to it, but it's originally designed as post-apocalypse. But I think it could work for sci-fi pretty easily.
Yeah.
The other thing that's kind of different about this game is you will make characters. You'll make characters. You will play those characters. However, that's not the main thing you are playing. You are playing a family. You are playing an organization. So you play on a macrocosm level, then we zoom in to playing as characters doing like missions or whatever. Then you zoom back out, time moves forward, and you might have to do things as that organization. Time moves forward, and then you're playing as different characters with different classes and everything. So it's powered by the apocalypse, but there are organizations that did kind of fit in to similar things that we've done. There was one I think that would work for the treasure hunters. There would one that would work for their wings. So that is something we could do that would be different. And it's powered by the apocalypse, which we've done before.
Yeah.
The only thing I don't like about that one is that we'd have to make more than one character.
Well, it's not like you make 4 and you play them. It'd be like, oh, so we're gonna play as we're starting as this. Let's say Tom is I can't remember, like Children of the Future, I think is one of them. You have abilities and whatever as that family, and then okay, now the specific issue that's going on right now is, let's say the first one is the finding the Tarborn thing that Dave did because it's wrecking the community, or it's taking a resource. We make these characters, you can play as them for like however many sessions we feel comfortable with, and then if everything is solved in that kind of era, then we zoom back out. So it's not like every session you're making a new character, it's more like whenever we feel comfortable with it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And we don't decide right now.
More
These are
towards
just
fate
Right.
almost.
okay.
So far, yeah, the one I'm leaning, but you guys have final say. I know less about these.
Yeah, it's more opinions.
But the one I liked the most so far was the one right before that one, I think.
Starforge.
Starforge?
Yeah, Starforge
Okay.
sounded.
Did you like
good.
it because the name is cool?
Yeah, that's where I stopped listening. All that other shit you said was dumb. No, that sounds good. Yeah, I mean, like everything you said about it seemed right. But again, if you guys decide another one, I'm
yeah. Like I said, I liked that system. I'm wondering about the longevity.
I'll look into it a little bit more and see.
Why don't we run with this one? Huh?
Well, for a few reasons, Tom.
It's only like 600 pages. And you got to read the book.
Damn it! Nobody does that.
Okay, so
that's definitely like a really cool art book, and that's where I draw the line with that.
so obviously we're not doing separate, like I said. I think everyone seems like Scum and Villainy is probably out. It seems like from what we're feeling.
I feel like if I were gonna do Scum and Villainy, I'd want to do one that is set in a, I guess, more Star Warsy-esque setting.
Yeah, it does.
This
lean more
is
towards
definitely
I wanna
leaning
see
more towards like
more villain.
this leans slightly more towards like Xenogears-esque fantasy.
Yeah,
sci-fi
kind of
thing.
like a Dune type.
Yeah.
Where it's not like, I don't know, it's not cyberpunk in any way, really.
Yeah. There's more natural elements to it and stuff.
Well, it's just you're on a planet and you're not doing like hood rat shit. You're doing like what you're doing affects the people around you in a way. It's not a selfish sci-fi. Maybe get all poetic with it. It has a bit higher reaching resolve than you and your team. It's
Yeah.
But are we done for tonight then?
Yeah, that's it. That's it. So I'll kind of send. Good.
So like I don't know if we want to do this. We don't have to do this tonight, but I would like to try doing something with this before we officially kick off.
Oh yeah,
something.
yeah.
What is that?
So,
I can't see
if you want, let's just crack it open real quick and just see what.
Well, wait. How about we end the stream?
Oh yeah, do it.
Okay, with that, we are the Mythos Mystery Society. Again, my book, Oh Fuck Dinosaurs, comes out on April 7th. You could buy it. It seems like anywhere you could buy books. I don't. I'll share. If you want to follow me on Blue Sky, I'll share links there. You can get it on anywhere you can buy books. But yeah, with that, we're the Mythos Mystery Society, brought to you by Schmuckies. Schmuckies, buy my book. Go ahead, do it. Buy my fucking book. I dare you. I fucking dare you, man.
Double dog dare you.